All right, hey, this is another free B update. Um, wow, uh, the second freebie update of the day until I get a more disciplined approach and give you some more detailed, structured information. But in the meantime, let's take a look at our NAO for this winter. So, again, this is a surprise update. Um, because the NAO has just come out with this latest daily forecast, August 25th today, and it's still forecasted to remain negative the next 2 weeks. You take a look at this, I mean, it's been negative way before August 1st, basically since July 15th, and now it's what, over a month and a half later, it's still negative. That's going to have major implications on the pattern because, okay, little lesson then the effect of what the lesson will teach is that negative NAO means ridging up in eastern Canada, and it means cold weather in eastern USA. That's the essence of it. So with it being negative this prolonged amount of time, you're going to have some momentum building, some feedback, or momentum's the better word, building a very cold air. Because it's starting to chisel away anything in the way when it starts to get a momentum like that, meaning warm air. So let's take a look at our latest. We got to do our Euro weeklies for this, okay? This is the perfect map for that. So taking a look at our temperatures, let's do this in 7-day increments. So we start off from week one. So this is week one, and there's nothing major indicating that there's a negative NAO apparent on the map. But I bet if you look deeper, in other words, into the next week two, week three, week four, you're going to start to see things get colder, is my educated guess. Now keep in mind that's not a verified theory that's verified, that's a fact now. If you know the scientific process in school, I'm sure many of you learned it in grade school. You know that it goes from an educated guess to testing it, then a theory, then testing the theory to see if it's fact. Anyways, that's my educated guess. Okay, things will get colder from that negative NAO because it's going to eventually have the overpower the climate in the eastern USA. Let's take a look and see what happens. So, okay, let's go to day 16 to 23. Still nothing. Still nothing. What does that mean? Essentially, there are other hidden factors at play, which is why I love the weather because there's always surprises everywhere. It's so fun. It's so cool for just a forecast without the whole even being in nature kind of loving the weather part. The forecasting part is almost just as fun. So we take a look. Let's forward this even more. And yeah. So there's two conclusions I can make based off this. Either I'm wrong or the model is wrong. And I'm going to say I'm wrong, not the model, because my going in this theory further is that, okay, I'm going to take what makes most sense, the simplest approach, in that, okay, so we have a negative NAO, and it's not bringing cold to the eastern USA, and the model is clearly saying that that's not the case, but warm is going to happen. My theory is, okay, there's other factors involved. That's the most practical approach to what is occurring in this situation. But let's take a look at our precept, then we'll get back to and jump into the NAO thing. So again, also another thing, a negative NAO usually produces a lot of precip and storminess along the eastern half of the USA. Not happening. So, okay, if we just think, I'm just thinking now, really. So a negative NAO means we have a block over eastern Canada. Okay. It usually means, well, that's what it always means, a block over eastern Canada. So let's look at our Penn State EWAL current 500 millibar map to get a better look at what is occurring actually in the 500 millibar height. So again, there's our block over it's somewhat over eastern Canada. It doesn't have to be exact, but when you get a block right over that North Atlantic region, that's a negative NAO as you see. Okay, now here's what I see. We have a lot of warm air in the Texas area. We have a ridge. Um, and again, we looked at the 6 to 10 to 8 to 10 day, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. That ridge might just be overpowering the negative NAO pattern influence. That is interesting. Now we ask what's causing the ridge, because that's the root of the issue right here. And that will have to be looked at in the next few updates, because that's an interesting question. Now, what would cause a ridge in the southwest, specifically in Texas and New Mexico? Let's animate this guy and see what we have going on here. So this is going from 5 days ago to current, so we're kind of looking at the evolution here. Okay, so we see just a normal hemispheric pattern here. Nothing really out of the ordinary that strikes me. So I'm not going to infer anything based off that, but I do want to look. My only thing that's just directly thinking is maybe the El Nino is starting to get ramped up. Okay, we're having quite an intense El Nino already, so we could possibly be seeing that affect and override the negative NAO, which is very interesting. Okay, we're not going to look at the El Nino because it's a major El Nino nearly. It's pretty near there. So you know what a major El Nino looks like. I don't need to show you a map, and that would not serve the purpose of what I'm trying to teach right now. But so basically, we have a negative NAO, which is being overridden by the El Nino. That's my second theory. The El Nino is, and this kind of coalesces and synthesizes this theory, is accurate in my mind because, as I predicted, this El Nino is going to provide a lot of warmth. I said it's the powerhouse of the atmospheric climate, global conditions. Anything is going to be generated by this because we have an enormous amount of heat. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. So you always want to kind of balance things out. It's like a puzzle. You're fitting pieces of the puzzle together, and the pieces are factors that have to align and coalesce and be put together. Like you can't have a piece out here and there and not have a complete puzzle. You know what I mean? You got to get the complete puzzle picture. Okay, so I'm gonna leave with that in the surprise. Again, the beautiful thing about weather is not what they say about us meteorologists. Oh, you get the forecast wrong and this will get paid. That's not really the whole part of the matter. The point is, yes, real true scientists do get it wrong, but they love that because they learn from that and they rejoice in that, saying, okay, wow, that's so cool and amazing. Now I get to look at a different thing that might be contributing to this, whatever it may be substantially in the substance of what you're looking at, so to speak. So, okay, basically, the highlight of this video is that the El Nino, and we're gonna close off really quickly because I have a minute left on the CFS V2 forecast for the El Nino, because it's our latest forecast that's kind of long range off the El Nino. So we're going to just glide. If I get cut off, I get cut off. Oh well. But I'm going to try as fast as I can to pound this in, hone this in. So let's go. Where is our wow. Okay, here we go. You're going to get cut off here. So bye-bye for now. But keep looking at the global equatorial. There it is for September, October, and November. Again, massive body of warm water. Any way you slice it, it's a big El Nino this year. Bye for now.